I'm Wilson.
And I'm Joe.
We're Wilson and Doe. We take risks. I've got a risk. We'll take it. It was a hot morning in Sindh, Pakistan. Doe and I had spent the better part of it wandering the maze of winding streets, looking for a particular café where a mysterious stranger had asked us to meet. We finally found it, easily recognizable by the camel standing out front and wheezing between puffs of a cigarette. I could only assume that the creature was yet another victim of mascot identification. Some time later, I was still pondering the pitfalls of marketing while I watched smoke curl from my hookah. Suddenly, Doe, who was sitting across from me at a small table, broke the silence.
Something tells me we're not in Topeka anymore.
What's that, Doe?
I asked for a drink, but they gave me this little golden urn instead.
When in Rome, Doe, my dear, a traveler must learn to adapt to the customs of her environment.
I'm afraid to open it. I don't know whether I'll find my drink or the remains of somebody's grandmother.
Perhaps you could shake it to see if there's liquid inside.
Why not?
That's just a nice wonder!
I have to admit, I didn't expect that.
Actually, it makes sense. I asked for a martini on the rocks. He must have thought I asked for a genie in a box.
For untold passing of generations, I have slept within my gilded cage. Stars were born of time. Civilizations slipped beneath the sand and I whiled away the countless years. Oh, the things I have seen! How they would turn your little brains to jelly! Bow in awe before me as I tell you of the unseen wonders!
I hate to interrupt.
Of a million unseen universes!
Not at all. We're just soaking in the local color.
And most enthusiastically at that. You'll pardon me for asking, but would your names happen to be Wilson and Doe?
I'm Wilson.
And I'm Doe.
She's my assistant.
And you are, how you say, takers of risks?
We take risks.
Then that is why I have asked you to come here. I have a risk.
We'll take it.
But perhaps you better explain exactly what it is.
But of course, my name is Asim Prabhu. I am an anthropologist and collector of rare antiquities. You are familiar with the Indus Valley?
Yes, it's home to some of the world's earliest civilizations, is it not?
That is correct. There are many archaeological sites to be found in the region, but one of the most important is the one called Mohenjo-daro. 5 years ago, I was invested in an expedition to this site funded by the University of Harappa, by which I am employed as a professor. We dug for a year and made exciting discoveries, but then something peculiar happened. No sooner did we submit these discoveries to the university than our funding was cut and the expedition disbanded. Just as we were uncovering evidence of an even older civilization beneath the ruins, we were forced to abandon the project.
And you have no idea what led the university to make such a decision?
None! Well, there were a number of laborers who were found dismembered near the entrance to a tunnel at the lowest layer of the dig, but other than that...
Dismembered? Didn't that strike you as unusual?
A little perhaps, but archaeology is never without its dangers. I assumed they fell down, or angered a pregnant camel.
Interesting. So what does this all have to do with us, Mr. Prabhu?
Wait a bit, I assure you. I would like to hire you to finish what we started at Mohenjo-daro, to delve into the oldest of the ruins and bring back some piece of evidence that could perhaps convince the university to fund another expedition.
You want us to sneak alone into an abandoned archaeological dig full of open pits and possibly looters, and to delve farther into a tunnel last excavated by a group of workers who were found torn limb from limb? Isn't that a bit risky?
I can only assume that question was rhetorical.
You have a point. I just have one more question. We're not terribly familiar with the geography of this region. Do you have any suggestions of where we might find a guide?
Already taken care of. I will send my young nephew, Dubik, to help you. He is small and flexible. Dubik!
I'm here, Uncle.
Dear me, boy, you must stop lurking about in the shadows like that. You're liable to scare distinguished guests to death that way.
Ah, death. That final slumber. That great rest in which all the troubles of this world pass away like smoke in the evening sky.
Well, this should be lively.
Tune in next time for the next hair-splitting adventure of Wilson and Doe, when you'll hear a gin martini say,
Get on your knees and tremble like a reed before the awesome wonder of my vast, terrible knowledge. Watch as galaxies are flung before your very eyes like dung from the hoof of a camel.